All right, today we're going to solve a super common and super frustrating car mystery. Let's just dive right in.
You know the feeling, right? You're at the gas station, you're trying to fill up your tank, and the pump just keeps clicking off. Click, 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 even though you know for a fact you're running on fumes. It is just one of the most maddening things that can happen when you're trying to do something so simple.
So what is going on there? Well, the culprit is often this small, kind of hidden part you've probably never even heard of, your car's purge valve. And today, we're going to break down exactly how this little thing can cause such a massive headache.
Okay, let's start right where the problem is most obvious, at the gas pump. You're standing there, nozzle in your hand, and the fight begins.
See, that fuel nozzle is actually pretty smart. It's designed to shut off automatically when it senses back pressure, which tells it the tank is full. But in this case, it's getting a completely false signal.
The real issue here is that your car's fuel tank can't breathe correctly. As all that fuel rushes in, the air inside has to go somewhere, right? It needs a way to get out. But when that air gets trapped, pressure builds up right inside the filler neck, and it literally pushes back against the fuel, tricking the pump into thinking the tank's full and shutting off.
Now here's the other major clue. Think about the moment right before you even start pumping. When you unscrew your gas cap, do you ever hear this loud whoosh or a hissing sound? That is the sound of a vacuum being released from the tank, and it is a dead giveaway that your tank is not venting the way it should be.
So that frustration at the pump, that's the most obvious sign for sure, but it's usually not the only one. Let's look at some of the other signs and smells your car might be giving you. Any of these ringing a bell? The check engine light coming on is a huge one. And because this whole system is tied to your car's emissions, you might suddenly fail an emissions test. You could also just notice that your gas mileage is getting worse and worse, or maybe you even catch a faint smell of gas inside the car. All of these clues, they're all pointing us in the same direction.
Okay, we've looked at all the symptoms. Now let's meet the component that's at the heart of this whole mystery and figure out what its job is actually supposed to be.
This purge valve, it's part of a bigger thing called the EVAP system. The easiest way to think about it is that it's your fuel tank's breathing system. You see, gasoline naturally evaporates, and that creates vapor. The EVAP system's entire job is to capture those harmful vapors and make sure they don't escape and pollute the atmosphere.
So here's how it's all supposed to work, in 4 simple steps. First, vapors are created in the gas tank. Then, they get captured and stored in this thing called a charcoal canister. Next, and this is the most important part, the purge valve is supposed to open up like a little date, releasing those trapped vapors so they can be sent to the engine to be burned off cleanly. But if that valve gets stuck closed at step 3, which can happen from gunk building up or just old age, the entire system gets backed up, and that creates the vacuum that causes all the problems we've been talking about.
All right, so you suspect the purge valve is the problem. How can you be sure? Well, lucky for us, your car often leaves a very specific message.
You know that annoying check engine light? It's not just a generic warning. Your car's computer has actually detected a very specific problem, and it's stored what's called a diagnostic trouble code, or a DTC. We just need a way to read it.
And getting that code is way easier than you think. You've really got 2 main options. You can buy a pretty cheap OBD2 scanner online and just do it yourself, or you can just drive to most big auto parts stores and they'll usually scan the codes for you for free.
So when you get the scan done, you're going to be looking for codes just like these. If you see something like a P0496, a P0441, or that very specific Ford code, P1450, that is a massive confirmation that the problem is in your EVAP system, and almost certainly it's the purge valve. You've cracked the code.
So, you've identified the symptoms, you get how the system works, and now you've even confirmed the error code. What's the final step?
Okay, so here's your action plan. First, get those codes scanned to confirm what's up. Once you have a code that points to the EVAP system, you can go to a mechanic you trust. But here's the difference. You're no longer walking in just saying, my car is acting weird. You can walk in with specific knowledge, the symptoms, the likely cause, and the exact error code. And that almost always leads to a faster, more accurate, and usually cheaper repair.
So, the next time your car starts acting up, just remember, it's often trying to tell you exactly what's wrong. That check engine light isn't just a light, it's a message waiting for you to read it. The real question is, what other secrets is it hiding?